In this video, I'm going to show you an often overlooked exercise that can help strengthen and stretch your hamstrings as well as improve your posture. There are 3 different training modalities that you can use to do this exercise properly. If you incorporate this exercise into your workout schedule, you can use it either for a warm-up routine, and you can also use it as a lower back stabilizer to help you either perform better in your sports or just improve your everyday well-being. But before we get started, I want you to join our free 50K giveaway. Get a chance to win lifetime access to our online kettlebell courses valued over $2,000. Link is in the description. Grüezi miteinander, Gregory von Lebe stark here. This powerful exercise that is often overlooked is called the good morning. Actually, many athletes do this exercise on a regular basis to prep themselves for deadlifts or squats. It's also a great warm-up exercise that Olympic athletes use to prepare their bodies to move these heavy weights. The muscles involved with the good morning exercise are the hamstrings, your posterior chain in general, and your spinal muscles. Your spinal muscles have to work isometrically to keep the spine in place, while your hamstrings undergo some strengthening and some stretching. You see, many people actually have problems to keep their spine locked and in a proper place. Not just with exercises when they hit the gym or when they train, but also in everyday life. And if you're not able to keep your spine in its proper place, problems can occur down the line. Now, you not only need strength to improve your posture, but you also have to work your neuromuscular pathway. This means your brain has to understand and has to communicate with these muscles who keep your spine in place. The good morning is an adequate exercise to work that neuromuscular pathway so that your posture will improve in the next couple of weeks. First, I'm going to show you the good morning exercise with these 3 tools, and then I'm going to help you progress slowly to do the exercise correctly. The first tool that you can use to do the good morning exercise is a barbell. I'd like to use a lighter one with fixed weights. I place it on my traps, shoulder width stance. Now I push my hips back. I keep that spine straight. I keep it locked. Reach that 90-degree angle. I feel that stretch now. Now I come up and I come back down. As I'm descending, I want to make sure that I keep my spine as straight as possible, pushing the hips back. And as I'm ascending, I want to keep that proper posture throughout the whole exercise. I breathe in as I go down. And breathe out once I reach the starting position. The next tool that you can use to do the good morning exercise is a kettlebell. I grab it by the horns, turn it around, place it again on my traps. Now elbows close to the body, and now I do the same thing. Pushing the hips back, unlocking the knees, not bending them, coming back up. And the final tool that I can use to do this exercise with is a dumbbell. I place it behind my back like as if I was doing this triceps exercise, then I lower it a little bit. Now, same thing, elbows close to the body, keeping that spine straight. Now, these drills that I'm about to show you to work your way up to the good morning exercise can be used individually to improve your posture as well. So the first exercise is the hinge. Shoulder width stance, arms at your side, pushing the hips back, the spine stays straight. We mimic exactly the good morning exercise without any weights. And if we do it unloaded, we usually call this a hinge. Now, since we've talked about the importance of the neuromuscular pathway, how your brain has to communicate with your muscles, many people don't have that connection. So therefore, it might look like this. People just bend their spines instead of pushing the hips back. Now, here's a great tool that can help your brain memorize and start the conversation with your muscles to keep that posture aligned. You bring that stick, which can be a broomstick, behind your back. You place it on your hips so that you have contact with that bony structure. Now the second part of the stick makes contact with your upper back, your T-spine, and then the final part is pulling the neck back so that the rear part of your skull makes contact with the stick as well. Now from this position, I engage back into the hinge. And throughout the movement, I want to make sure that I don't lose any contact. If I do, I want to immediately course correct. The second drill that you can use is one of McGill's big three. Dr. Stuart McGill is one of the leading spine researchers. Get on all fours, and now we just start bending the spine, pushing the hips in, double chin, and my upper back goes towards the ceiling. And now I do the exact opposite, pushing the hips out, pulling my neck back, and chest gets down to the floor. These two drills can help you improve awareness with your body's capability to communicate with your spine. You have these three movable parts: the neck, the chest or the upper back, and the hips. And these three parts have to be locked if you want to work with the good morning. And it's not just a good morning. There are a host of exercises that require a locked spine. Drill number 3 can help you improve your function of pushing your hips out and not walking around with a hunched over lower back. Do this by imagining, you can also do it physically, that you're standing in front of a wall or a door that's behind me. And now I want to try to touch the wall or the door with my hips without falling backwards. Drill number 4 is covering your T-spine. Many people walk around with this hunched over position where the spine is slightly flexed and then everything tilts forward. What we want to understand is how to communicate with the T-spine. So here's a great drill that you can try. You go on your knees, you have a bench in front of you. Now bring both of your hands behind your neck. Now go slowly down towards the bench. Place your elbows on the bench. Keep that contact with your head. And now you push your chest down and you try to look up. And you can already see, if I have this hunched over position like this, watch my upper back as it now extends. And now I feel that stretch around my shoulder and probably a little bit in the chest. Finally, we want to take care of our C-spine. This is the last drill. Extend the neck forward and now pull it back. Extend it forward and now pull it back. As you pull your neck back, don't just look towards up the ceiling, but pull that whole area backwards so that you have this double chin position. And you imagine that you want to touch a wall that is behind you with the rear part of your head. So now we've gained a lot of awareness and maybe even some basic layers of strength to progress now to the good morning exercise. From my experience, I prefer doing the good morning with a fixed barbell. All 3 implementations and training philosophies, the kettlebell, the dumbbell, as well as the fixed barbell, require some mobility in your shoulder area in order for you to drop the weight where it belongs between your shoulder blades so that we can work. But since we mostly focus on kettlebells, I want to highlight a couple of things that you want to do if you do the good morning exercise with a kettlebell. So as you swing the weight up, you grab it by the handle, swing it up, then switch the grip towards grabbing the kettlebell by the horns, and then it's like you are putting on a jacket. Bring the kettlebell like a halo around your head and then placing it on your traps. That's 1, 2, 3. Elbows close to the body. Now we understand now. I can move the neck, I can move the chest, I can move the hips, and now I have to lock these 3 parts in place. And as I'm pushing my hips back, I only want to unlock the knees. Don't bend them. We need to feel that stretch. And now we come up. We want to breathe in through the nose to use more stability in our abdominal area. And now we come up. If I want to place the kettlebell back down, I grab it by the horns again, lift it a little bit with a little bit of swing, halo it around my head, and now I can drop it safely down to the floor. If you want to incorporate the good morning exercise into your warm-up or workout schedule, I would start slowly with maybe 1 set of 10 reps. You will feel a lot of isometric contraction which requires a lot of power and a lot of energy. And if you still have your brain building up communications with your spine, then it's even more intense. So be careful when you implement this exercise. When it comes to weights, I would always start slowly. This is not a strengthening exercise where you want to use too much weight unless you are a high-level athlete. But even then, you want to do it only under the monitoring of a professional coach. And if you're still having trouble with any kind of weight, just do the hinge first. The hinge is still a great exercise that can loosen up your hips and work on your awareness that you need in order to be able to lock your spine. So here's the next thing that you have to do. Like the video, consider subscribing, share with a friend, and then watch this video. If you're just getting started with kettlebells, the good morning exercise is a great exercise, but it requires a little bit of an advanced skill. So here in this video, I have some basics that you might want to check out first if you're just getting started. So go watch it right now.